This is the Asus ROG Phone 6D Ultimate, and it does not have a Snapdragon processor. It has this chimney though. Asus had an ROG Phone 5 Ultimate, and then earlier this year it released the ROG Phone 6 and 6 Pro, so we were like, where's the Ultimate? Turns out it was coming in a slightly different variant. The new ROG Phone 6D series is powered by the MediaTek Dimensity 9000 Plus chipset. And I know MediaTek chips are usually associated with cheaper budget devices, maybe bad performance, but the Dimensity 9000 Plus is built on a 4nm process, just like the Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1, and the Dimensity inside the ROG Phone 6D is actually fine-tuned, overclocked, to reach clock speeds of 3.2 GHz, just like the Snapdragon. Okay, but still, why does this exist? Is it better than the 6 Pro? Is it somehow different? Not really, but let's take a deeper dive. So, years ago, Asus found the shape it wants for its phones, and it's sticking with it. The ROG Phone 1 looks exactly like the ROG Phone 3, looks exactly like the ROG Phone 6. The screen size, the slightly accented top and bottom bezels, the arched back, everything's the same. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. Like, this phone bets on ergonomics. After all, you're supposed to be gaming for it probably for hours on end. So if Asus found one shape that works for its products, sure, it's gonna stick with it. And just like before, this thing is heavy. It weighs about 240 grams, which is kind of around the iPhone 13 Pro Max weight. Of course, just like with every ROG phone, we have these ultrasonic triggers here, which activate at the tap, and you can set them to do anything within game, even add swipes over the triggers or split the triggers in 2 zones, so you have like a total of 4 buttons just at a fingertip. And there's even this super old connector that we've all forgotten about, called the headphone jack. Oh yeah, that thing. You have it in this phone. Cool. Okay, so where's the ROG Phone 6D Ultimate different? Well, you'll notice it's missing the RGB lit Dare to Play logo on the back. Instead, it has the new Aero active portal, or as I like to call it, the chimney. Basically, whenever you connect the Aero active cooler, which is the phone's fan which comes bundled with the Ultimate, the portal opens up and blows 1 liter of cool air per second straight into the chip. So with that system, the Aero active cooler 6, when it's in its simple fan mode, will keep this phone at a cool 50 degrees Fahrenheit or 10 degrees Celsius, which is the always nice cool touch to the hand. That's the feeling we all love about phones. In comparison, without the chimney, you need to put the Aero Active Cooler 6 in frosty mode in order to achieve the same effect. Furthermore, the 6D Ultimate comes in this space gray color and only in this space gray color, so take it for what it is. The screen on the front is still the lovely 6.78 AMOLED panel, which is HDR10 Plus compliant. We've got 1200 nits of absolute max brightness, which is pretty good. I've been using this phone for the past 2 weeks and I had no trouble outside in the summer sun or inside at night. Overall, I think the display is fantastic. You have different color calibrations to pick from. For example, I don't like the super punchy AMOLED colors, so it has a more tame variant for me with more mature, more realistic colors. It can reach 165 Hz of refresh rate, and that's super smooth. Tell you the truth, when you switch to 165, the white balance calibration of the display kinda gets skewed, so I tended to favor 120 or 144. Even Asus knows this, because when you go into X mode, which is the gaming mode of this phone, it locks the display at 144, not 165. Now, I know we're all here for the performance and benchmarks, but let me just quickly skip through the camera segment, because the 6D Ultimate basically has the same camera as the 6 Pro. It's a 50 megapixel Sony made sensor, and in my 6 Pro review, I said I was surprised. This is a gaming phone that actually takes pretty nice photos. Yes, colors are a bit oversaturated, details may sometimes be a little bit oversharpened, but dynamics are absolutely fantastic. The dynamics of this camera saves the photos most of the time. You're looking at some samples right now, I like all of them. It's also not terrible during nighttime. Now, it doesn't have any crazy features like super zoom, and its portrait mode is bad, but as a main camera, as a basic camera, phone camera, it's fantastic. Okay, performance. Why does this one have a MediaTek? I do not know. Okay, in real life, I used the ROG 6 Pro to review it and I played on it for like 2 weeks or more. And I used the 6D Ultimate for the last 2 weeks and I played all kinds of games. And I couldn't feel any difference, at least not right now. These phones are both at their peaks. I threw all of the games I could from the Play Store at them, highest settings, highest refresh rates, and it just runs fine. Now, when pushing them with benchmarks, there are some interesting results. On 3D Mark's Wildlife Extreme Stress Test, the 6D Ultimate with the MediaTek scored slightly lower than the 6 Pro with the Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1. However, the MediaTek was a bit more stable with the scoring from first result to final result. Does this make any difference? Not really. Also, I made all of these tests without the Aero active cooler fans, of course, and I noticed that the MediaTek phone is slightly hotter than the 6 Pro, but again, that was a stress test. It was supposed to punish the device. There is one thing, the 6D series comes with 16 gigs of LPDDR5X memory. Now you might notice the ROG 6 comes with 18 gigs, but here's the deal. LPDDR5X is the newest, fastest chip and it does not come in bigger storage formats than 16. So basically Asus stuck the best it could into this phone. Moving on to speakers, 2 front-facing drivers. Again, they sound fantastic thanks to the partnership between Asus and Direct Audio. It's deep, it's loud, it's very loud. It's detailed and it has a 7-band EQ, so you can tune it to your taste. But basically, this phone feels like you have a small, high-quality Bluetooth speaker in your pocket at all times. Battery, again, like the ROG 6, it has 6000 mAh battery, which lasted me just fine throughout the day. Gaming, installing new stuff, benchmarks, browsing the web, chatting, and I wasn't worried at all. I kind of forgot to check my battery percentages with this phone. It also comes with its own fast charger, 65 watts in the box, thank you very much Asus, and it has a very nice braided cable and it can charge from 0 to 100% in slightly less than 45 minutes. And okay, final verdict, why does this phone exist and should you get it instead of the ROG Phone 6 Pro? Well, first of all, the 6D series and the 6 series will be available in slightly different regions. So there will be some overlap in certain markets, and it's the people in those markets that will have to make this decision. So let me tell you about the 6D Ultimate. It's the only ROG phone from this generation that comes with the Aero Active Cooler 6 in the box. We still don't know pricing on it, but if the final price is slightly lower than getting a 6 with the fan, then maybe it's worth it, because personally I believe that the best way to experience an ROG phone is with the Aero Active Cooler. It adds 4 hardware buttons which feel great for gameplay, and it also acts as a kickstand, and it's cool. Other than that, I can't see any specific reasons you might want to go for one or the other phone. Now, Asus seems convinced that there are people out there who are fans of MediaTek or fans of Snapdragon specifically, but I don't think mobile users care that much. Well, you tell me, which one would you go for, the 6D Ultimate or the 6 Pro? Thanks for checking out this review of the Asus ROG Phone 6D Ultimate. Subscribe for more, and I'll see you next time.